There are 15 days left in the season and I still have yet to reach 3,000 trophies. And let's just say I have absolutely no clue what the meta looks like. So today I asked the best players in the world what they think are the best heroes in the meta right now and the worst hero in a beautiful tier list. Shout out to all of these top players for helping me build the ultimate hero tier list. Let's jump into the worst hero. And it's gonna be the BK. The Barbarian King, honestly, you know, there's one good deck, the 4 Ranger Synergy deck, but it's just like, it gets easily countered by some strong heroes, like the RC, like the Wave Master. It's a deck that is very weak against Riders. It's a deck that struggles against some of the best troops in the game right now, and this is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, BK is going to be the worst hero in the meta. Next up, we're going to have the Monk. And, you know, the Monk, I feel like, especially on top ladder, any melee hero is going to have a rough time, especially because of the Headhunter. Headhunter does so much damage. He even dissipates 3 energy. So this means heroes like the Monk, heroes like the BK, they're going to be struggling against a mini that is everywhere. That is everywhere on top ladder. And you know, it's just the Monk. Right now, it is a pretty decent counter to the Wave Master, which I'll get in the future of this video. But other than that, it's just a mini that is struggling. Even though he did get a promotion, an upgrade to his 3rd promotion, it's still just not going to be enough here to bring him back to the glory days. So Monk is going to be in the D tier. And speaking of melee heroes, we're going to have the Pink Fury be in the C tier. And why is the Pink Fury in the C tier? Well, the 4 Elixir Synergy deck is a it's a deck that can easily snowball. It's a deck where you can easily overwhelm your opponent with, you know, when placing down the Elixir Golem, you're going to have a lot of Elixir coming in, and as soon as that Pink Fury starts getting a lot of kills, she's going to get a lot of Elixir. But, again, it's a hero that if you have some sort of control effect, some sort of stun, some sort of, you know, E-Wiz, Wave Master, Pink Fury is just going to have a rough time. Even though she can have all the Elixir in the world, all the hit speed increase in the world, it is not going to be enough when you know, you have that first upgrade on the Pink Fury. It's just not enough. It's just not enough, and for that reason, Pink Fury is going to be in the C tier. Now, in the C tier, we are going to have Mrs. Royal Champion. She is going to be in a spot, in a place, in a healthy spot in the meta. I would say Royal Champion has either been incredibly broken or dead. And it feels like after some fine-tuning to her 3rd upgrade, to her 2nd upgrade, they're coming, the Clash Mini team, Dongheng especially, you know, doing an incredible job at figuring out how to tune the Royal Champion so that it's a hero that's not too overwhelming, not too much pressure, but it can still do the job, and it can easily snowball. So for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, Royal Champion is going to be in the C tier. Now in the B tier, we're going to have Mrs. Natureborn. You know, Natureborn, again, one of those heroes that has been fine-tuned. There was a point where Natureborn was one of the most dominant hero in the meta by far. I think it was probably last month. Especially because her 3rd upgrade was just ridiculously strong, +1 attack damage, and it was 20% attack speed every 5 seconds. But now again, they did some small tweaks, and now 15% attack speed increase every 5 seconds. It seems a little less overwhelming for the opponents, and it's a mini it's a hero that I do appreciate using, especially, you know, with the Specialist Synergy. You can always slap in a Wizard to increase her damage by 50%. So definitely a very, very solid hero, and for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, she is going to be the first hero in the B tier. Now next, joining Mrs. Natureborn, we're going to have the Grand Warden. You know, Grand Warden really only has one solid deck, and it's the Wizzy Boys. It's the Wizzy Boys with the Wizard, the Ice Wizard, and the Wizard. No, I said Wizard twice. The E-Wiz, the Ice Wizard, and the Wizard. We haven't seen too many Inferno Wardens join the gang, but it is definitely a solid hero that that allows those wizards to really shine, especially with the first upgrade here, where shielded allies gain rage. A 3-star E-Wiz on rage is definitely something that is pretty painful to deal with, especially because he can perma-stun you. He can perma-stun you, and then you're like, well, what am I supposed to do? And this is why, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Grand Warden is going to be in the B tier. The last hero in the B tier is going to be Mrs. Archer Queen. She has been one of the most consistent heroes in Clash mini meta for a while now, especially with her third upgrade injury. She pops that invisibility anytime her HP drops below 50%. This makes her, you know, ridiculously strong at surviving, but also protecting nearby allies, those musketeers, those archers, those anything that she can, you know, those princesses, anything she can protect with her invisibility while also damage boosting nearby allies. That is going to be really, really strong, and for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, she is going to be the last hero on the B tier. Alright, now moving into the A tier, we're going to have a lot of heroes, and we're going to first start off with Mrs. Countis. I'll say it again, but Countis was an incredibly strong hero. She first had an incredible third upgrade where she had HP steal, and I think she would gain untarget ability for like 0.5 seconds, which made her ridiculously strong. They nerfed that, but then they made her first upgrade ridiculously strong, where attacks and supers would deal, I think, +6 damage, which they reduced to +5. And now, yes, she's still very strong in this meta, but she's not as oppressive as she used to be. And for that reason, you know, when you pair her up with some Headhunter, with some Rogue synergy, that she's going to deal a lot of damage really quickly. And this is why she's going to be in the A tier. Next up, we're going to have everybody's favorite hero. Just kidding, because you guys probably don't have him just like me. Mr. Battle Machine. You know, besides the fact that you need to be extremely lucky or extremely wealthy to have the opportunity to play him, it is a hero that was known to shine with the mirrored gizmo in a rumble. Especially, there were many players that actually invited the #1 player, I think last season, and he actually just basically hacked the system where he would play rumbles, and when you have Battle Machine mirror in your rumble, then you're basically guaranteed to win round 1 and probably round 2. So it makes it was ridiculously strong, and they did nerf the HP of the mirror. But nevertheless, Battle Machine, you know, alongside with 4 riders is definitely a very strong combo. It is definitely a very, you know, although I don't see him too often, he is a super strong hero. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, he is in the A tier. Now, joining the Battle Machine in the A tier, we're going to have Mr. Skeleton King. I gotta say, it's very nice to see the Skeleton King back in the meta, especially with his second upgrade. He now gains plus 150% HP steal and rage when he survives, which makes it just a ridiculously strong and tanky hero that can survive and really just put in a lot of work and always and have that reverse sweep kind of. He can easily go for a 3v1, 4v1 if he starts having those supers and he starts healing back up. So Skeleton King, you know, the undead synergy, they also reworked that with, you know, the enemy's hero plus 2 damage taken for 15 seconds. And when now you have 4 undead minis, enemy hero is going to take plus 2 damage taken for the whole round, and everybody else is going to take plus 1 damage taken. So this makes it really strong for the Skeleton King, players, but also, you know, if you can have a Chompy, a Witch, you can do a lot of damage. You can have very, very strong minis like the Chompy that can, you know, start all snowballing, just like the Skeleton King when he comes back to life and has that 150% HP steal. So for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Skeleton King is going to be in the A tier. And last but not least, Mrs. Shield Maiden. She is a very, very solid hero in the meta. Let's just be honest. She has a lot of health. She can tank. She can reflect anything coming in her way. It's a solid hero. It's a hero that, you know, it's probably one of my favorite heroes to play, just because it has that solid, that insane amount of tankiness, and then you can play around it. It's one of those heroes where it has a great variety of decks that you can play, a great variety of synergies that you can play with her. So you never know what to expect when you're going up against a Shield Maiden player, and that makes the hero in itself so versatile that it is going to be in the A tier. You can play, you know, you can have the Saint synergy, you can also have the Specialist synergy. I've seen that run a couple of times. You can even have the Rogue synergy. You know, the Shield Maiden is the ultimate tank. She reflects, she does a lot of damage, and for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, she is going to be the last hero in the A tier. And yeah, you guys have probably guessed it, but the ultimate hero, the go-to, the S tier, the man himself, the fish, the human fish, it's Mr. Wavemaster. It was definitely a surprise when we saw that his super got a damage buff where he deals 3 times the amount of base damage, which actually adds up to like 9, because it's 3. If you upgrade him, his base damage goes to 3. You multiply that by 3, that's 9. That's already 9 damage across the board. Pair that up with, you know, a second upgrade where every 4 attacks he deals 4 times as much as the base damage, so 12. It makes him a ridiculously tanky hero, but a ridiculously strong DPS hero that can go directly to the backline, slap anyone in its way. And also the fact that he has one of the strongest synergies, which is the C synergy. The whole team, if you place down 4 C synergy minis, you're gonna have +1 energy every 3 seconds, which makes other minis ridiculously strong, like the Headhunter, like the Sailor, anything that has energy, you know, the Princess, anything you want. And it doesn't really take necessarily too much skills. You just need to place down that synergy and you're good to go. So for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Wavemaster is going to be the ultimate hero, the go-to if you want to push on ladder. Here's the final tier list. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and smash subscribe.